course, we're going to here for Slap News with Josh Pankow, the president of Leaf Trading Cards. How excited are you for this new partnership and to be the official Power Slap card provider?
Honestly, we couldn't be more excited. We kind of are the off-brand, edgy sports card company of the industry, so something like Power Slap really fits into what we do. We're super excited to put the cards out there. UFC took off huge, and I don't think a lot of people saw that coming, and we really believe Power Slap could be on its heels where, 10 years from now, we're at Power Slap 100 or whatever it is, and people are just absolutely stoked about it.
Yeah. I mean, my first experience in sports cards was a pro set.
Okay.
And so for you guys to hold that license, I'm from Canada, so hockey cards were massive. And so obviously you guys have a long, lineage of, in the card industry and the reputation that you guys have built. You guys are doing some phenomenal things now with like quad autos. I see you putting pieces of bats and autographs into cards. Are we going to see some unique aspects to these Power Slap cards that are unique and different to the industry that hasn't been done before?
Yeah, for sure. One of the things we already did is we had a bunch of them sign autographs on Tuesday, and on their first autograph, they all wrote my first card. So they all have one card that says my first trading card. We are, far advanced in terms of the technology that we can produce on trading cards. We like to do things kind of outside the box, where we have a Marilyn Monroe card coming out with a piece of her lipstick that she kissed like a napkin. So it's really limitless what we can do. We're excited to take maybe some mats from the fights, or maybe the bars that they hold, all different stuff. We can cut it up, put it on a card, have dual sign, triple sign, quad sign, have two people that fought each other or are looking to fight each other in the future. So there's so many different things we can do for sure, and we're excited about that.
Awesome. I mean, how exciting is it to be the official? Because I know a lot of other sports, you don't have the official licensing. But for you guys to have an official licensing, to have the logos, to be able to use the images and everything, is that a unique opportunity for you guys that you're really excited about?
Yeah, it's very unique and very exciting. I think the exciting thing to me is that we're getting in really early. I think we just had Slap number 8, and to be able to get in early and advance it as Power Slap grow with it, instead of trying to come in again in 5 years, 10 years when Power Slap is already huge, to be able to grow with it and become the big entity that Power Slap wants to be and have a trading card kind of running side by side with it is really exciting to us.
I mean, the thing that I thought about is that every card in this set's going to be a rookie card, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. This is going to be the first card, and it's funny you say that because when we were talking to the fighters, like a lot of the sports you do, it's fun to do cards, but they're just, okay, I've done cards a bunch of times. It's not all that exciting to the personality. And with this, it was like these guys found out they were going to have cards, and they were, guys and women, they were all, wait, I'm going to have a trading card? Like, it was really cool for them. And a lot of these guys, they're not making the millions of dollars that you see in other sports where they just kind of don't care about this. So what was cool for me is to see how excited they were to have trading cards too. And they all asked. Every one of them was like, can you send some to me? And like, we've done deals with Lionel Messi and Shohei Ohtani. They don't care about their cards. But it was really cool to see the excitement that all these people had to get their own trading cards. So, if they're that excited, the hope is that other people will be that excited as well.
Awesome. Can we talk a little bit about the distribution? So we've heard rumors, approximately 400 autographs were signed that day. CJ said that potentially the metal series will be the first one that gets done for the Power Slap cards. Do you kind of have any idea of like how big the production run will be? Can you confirm if it is going to be the metal, and just kind of like how you see this product going to market?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely going to be metal for the first one. Metal is kind of our base brand, if you will. We do it in football, baseball, multi-sport, so we do it in everything, and it really, collectors love it. So it's going to be our first product. Number of cases, we're going to keep it small. I don't know exactly how many cases yet, but the plan is to keep this small. We want to make the first set where it's really collectible. If we come out and just, go for the gusto and make thousands and thousands of cases, then it's not going to have the same impact. We want collectors to miss out on this to some extent. Like, we want them to be able to get it, but there's got to be that entity of, oh man, I missed that. Because we had that, like, we do pickleball cards. And we did the same thing in pickleball. Like, we started small, and the first few cards are crazy expensive now because nobody really cared when we did it, and then they realized, wow, this is cool. So I think that's kind of what we want to do. We also want to be able to do stuff direct to consumer on the website, which is a really cool aspect. We have a website where we get a lot of collectors going, but the cool thing about Power Slap is that you hit people that don't necessarily collect the other stuff, and then the collectors that do collect our other cards, they're going to buy a Power Slap card just because they buy everything Leaf does, and then all of a sudden they become Power Slap fans. So, we're excited about the first launch. It should be probably 2 to 3 months from now. So we're thinking probably like September, October. It takes us about 4 to 6 weeks to get the cards printed, and then the production side stickering them all and collating it all. But yeah, we're looking at probably September-ish for the first release.
Awesome. Have you talked about pack, configuration? Is it going to be hobby box only? Are we going to see blasters or fat packs or anything else? And is there going to be guaranteed autos in each box?
Yeah, so there'll definitely be guaranteed autos in each box. One of the things that Leaf does is our box are typically not in like the typical foil pack form. Okay. They're a box where you're going to get, in this, you're probably going to get 2 or 3 autographs and then 5, 10 base cards. Probably the first release is not going to have a retail component. We like to, again, keep it small. We want the retail component to see how hot the hobby component was, and then they come and ask us. We definitely, in the future, want to get it into the retail market because that's where you hit the mass market. Obviously, you get in Walmarts and Targets, then a lot more people see it. But the first one will be hobby only. It'll be probably, again, somewhere between 6 and 10 total cards with at least 2 or 3 autographs. So there's definitely going to be content. The fun thing about this one is we can keep it pretty affordable. It doesn't have to be a box that's $200. It's probably going to be a $75 to $100 box, so it's not going to be crazy expensive. And you're going to get some autographs with some chase, with multis. The first one won't have any game used or anything component, but going forward, definitely we'll look to do that for sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's amazing. I was going to ask you real kind of rough what the price point is. Is this going to be a direct available through your website, or do you plan to go through some, hobby-specific retailers?
It'll do both. We'll sell it on our website, but we'll also sell it to our normal distribution channel. And we have a lot of people that buy our multi-sport products that are looking for MMA fighters. So I think there's going to be some transition for sure. And again, we have a lot of customers that'll buy pretty much everything we do just because they'll try it. Like pickleball, a bunch of people tried because whatever Leaf made it, and they made a bunch of money on the first one. So I think we'll see that with this as well. You'll get some people that'll buy it just because we produce it, and then they're gonna get interested and be like, holy cow, like this really worked. So the hope is that we can grow on it, and we saw that with bowling as well. Like we have the official bowling license, so that you saw that for sure there, where some people weren't sure about the product, but it was an affordable price point. You got a lot of content. And so that's kind of how you lure them in, and then you hope that it grows and grows and grows. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, I think this could be a really cool product for breakers as well. To be able to do it by weight division, and obviously you have a female division, which is good, just definitely unique to this sport because the women are some of the biggest stars. Obviously, as you've seen with Paige Van Zandt, Jackie Cataline. I mean, so to have these athletes, be part of that, I think is phenomenal. Overall, do you see there becoming like a quote unquote instant trading card as well? So last night we just had Power Slap number 8, is to say the Crazy Hawaiian retains his title. Do you see yourself, the very next day or a couple of days after releasing instant or now cards on your website, a limited production run print that are exclusive to your website? Do you kind of see that, going into the fold as well?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's something we definitely want to do as we grow this partnership, and this one was kind of all came on us pretty fast because the deal was signed not that long ago, so I don't think we had time to execute it for this one. Sure. But going forward, absolutely. Like one of the things that we can do, we can react really fast because we're small and nimble. So we can do stuff like that for sure, where as soon as we know who the next fighters are, like we could produce an autograph card that had an autograph from both of the fighters for leading up to Power Slap 9. And then once Power Slap 9 happens, absolutely. I'd love to have, images from the fights. And some of those images, by the way, I mean, there's going to be some of the most amazing images for cards because, in most sports, you don't have that image where you could just have an amazing photo like that. And every Power Slap is going to have, I think it's going to make some people cringe because if you're not prepared for that, like seeing the face kind of manipulated with the first hit, like there's going to be some really cool photography that goes along with it. So we're very excited about that. I definitely think the instant/now model is 100% something that we'll look to do, and because that's something that you can sell on your website and get collectors interested, again, not just in what we do but the event. That's the key. You've got to have people interested in the cards, but then that's got to translate to them watching the next Power Slap or reading about it.
Totally. I mean, it might be too soon to answer this, but do you see there being multiple sets of Power Slap release, whether you have a metal versus additional sets throughout the year, or how do you kind of see the evolution of the distribution and utilizing obviously this license to its fullest potential?
We will definitely be doing more than one product for sure. That's 100%. The timing will be, again, we don't want to overbear the market. So it's probably going to be something where it's going to be, every 6, 8, 10 months to start. And then look, if it takes off, like for example, we do a football product almost every month, because football is huge. I don't know that Power Slap's going to get to where football is necessarily, but it could get to where we can do 3 or 4 products a year. And the nice thing is we have metal, we have in the game use, we have ultimate, we have pro set, now we have press pass. So there's so many different ways we can make the product look, because you can't have every product be the same, because then it, why would you buy one from the next? But if you can put out 4 or 5 products a year that are all a little bit unique, then I think that's where you get a lot of collectors buying all of them. And that's where we're really lucky to have a lot of, really strong brands. At some point, we could even produce a pearl Power Slap, and pearl's our highest end. But, imagine a pearl card where you have a pearl, but then you also have, fight worn stuff. You could do all kinds of crazy autographs. And we were lucky enough to get autographs at Dana White. So, obviously he'll be a big, chase, but you can put those with some of the fighters, and there's so much we can do. And fortunately, we have a guy who is the most creative mind in all of trading cards. So he's going to come up with some just crazy ideas. So I can't wait to see what we put out there. For sure.
I love hearing it. You kind of take the words out of my mouth. I was going to ask you, what are going to be some of these chase cards in the metal set, if you can share with us?
Yeah, so there'll be some multis, obviously. I think the coolest thing is so the Superfractor, which is the 1-of-1 autograph, or we call it Superprizmatic, that'll have my first card on it. So that'll be really cool to have a Superprizmatic that has the inscription with my first card. So obviously those will be huge chase. There'll definitely be multis where we mix some of the males, some of the females. We can do something where we mix the top 4 in each category. We could do an 8 signed. We do a lot of that where we do a 4 in the front, 4 in the back, where you have the 4 best men on the front, 4 best women on the back, or 2 men, 2 women. We can mix it up however it's necessary. But I think the multis and then the Superfractors are definitely going to be some of the biggest chase. It wouldn't surprise me if we did some like Dana White duels with some of the top fighters as well. So if you had the top heavyweight autograph with a Dana White, like that's really cool. And then again, all the paralleling, the supers are obviously something that's very much chase, but then we've created different color supers now. So we just came out with a tie-dye super, which, the typical Superfractor or Superprismatic has kind of the gold circles, but now we've created a silver one, we've created a tie-dye one. So we've created some alternate versions to make there be several different 1-of-1s, but where they all look really cool and unique.
Absolutely. I mean, that sounds phenomenal to hear this. Is it going to follow kind of the traditional leaf metal format, I guess, in terms of sizing? Like, do you think the numbering will be similar, the color variations be similar overall? And have you talked about how big the base set will be? Because right now there's approximately 150, fighters on the roster itself. But have you determined how many fighters are going to be involved in that first base set?
We'll probably use a lot of them in the first one. The color scheme will probably be pretty typical to the normal. One of the things that we've talked about that would be amazing is we've talked about, and I think we'll probably try and implement a die cut card in the shape of a hand. So it's like, the slap, the slap, whatever we call it. So that's something that's really cool. I would say the numbering would probably be a little lower than our typical metal products, simply because we're going to make, in a football product, we're going to make a lot more, or baseball, we're going to make a lot more cases than we will for Power Slap. So I would anticipate the numbering being very low. I would be shocked if anything's numbered higher than 10, other than the typical base cards. But even those, like, we can make so many different parallels, and you can change it up with different substrates, different colors. There's a lot that you can make it where it's not numbered to 50 or 100. Like, we want to make this first one, like I said, very rare. Obviously, we want collectors to be able to find it, but we don't want it to sit on shelves and for it to just become stale. We want it to come in and really be gone right away, and then collectors start hitting the secondary market. They start looking for it on eBay or at card shows, and the cards become a chase, and that's really what we're excited about.
Awesome, Josh. I appreciate taking the time joining me here today. We'll support the product through and through. We're going to be doing a lot of content on our channel, so follow us, Instagram, YouTube, X, and of course on YouTube. If you're not subscribing, please do hit the notification bell, because we'll be bringing you a ton of content as we get more information about this partnership with Leaf Trading Cards.